Hi, I'm Rajiv Nema, and I'm here with the cast of a very cool action thriller which is coming out soon, The Purple Knight. So, I want to talk to the cast members about it and their experience, including myself. I'm a cast member. So, let's start with the introductions. Ratnesh, can you talk about yourself and the character you played?
Sure. So my name is Radnesh Rai and I'm playing the character of Saket, who is a dad, who is a husband and a good friend, an enemy of some goons in the movie. So, and about me, I have done theater in the past, starting probably 2003, and I've done some plays back in India. Then I came here and I did some plays here in Bay Area.
Any films?
This will be my first kind of full-length film in a way.
Yeah.
But I've done some short videos and short films.
Okay.
And thanks to the Natak group, because that's what, where I met all the actors as well as a lot of people who have worked in this movie as well.
For those of you who don't know, Natak is a theatre group in Bay Area for the last 25 years, so that's what that theatre group is. Yes. What about you, Hiranmai?
Hi, I'm Hiranmai Srinivasan. I play Monica in The Purple Knight. She is a badass and kind of like up for anything kind of girl, but she's a little jaded by life, as you'll see. A little bit about myself. I've been acting in film just for the past 2-3 years. Purple Knight was actually one of my first projects and one of my first, I think, full-length ones that's going to come out. So I'm really excited. It was a great experience for me working with this cast, and I've done some theater in high school and middle school. I grew up here in the Bay Area. And yeah, I've always wanted to act since I was a kid, and it's been amazing getting these opportunities the past few years.
Awesome. Ritwik, you?
Hi, I'm Ritwik Varma. I'm playing a character called Ritesh in the movie, who is friend of Saket, played by Ratnesh. I think he thinks he's cool, but he's actually Nama cool. And he has a pivotal role. I enjoyed playing it. It was a pretty chilled out role, and acted most of my scenes with Hiranmai and Ratnesh, so it was a fun experience. And yeah, outside this movie I have been acting in theatre for a while now with Natak, as Rajiv mentioned. I started with improv theatre back in Bangalore and then moved to the Bay Area and started doing theatre here. So
Cool. Yeah. And Sean?
Yeah, so my name is Sean. I play a character named Ruby. He's kind of like a thug, a bit of a hothead, wants to see things done his way and right now. A little bit about myself. I've been acting for, say, four years. Moved from Jamaica when I was 9. Got into Skyline High, which is pretty far from here. But yeah, I got into Skyline High, and then I got in freshman year. I got into acting and I got on theater, and that's when it kind of blossomed. But I never took it very seriously up until senior year, and that's when I kind of hit my break. I got a headshot with Lisa Keating. She's pretty amazing, and then the rest is history.
Cool. Awesome. And last but not the least, in Silicon Valley style, all the way from Silicon Valley of India, Ghana.
Hi everyone, this is Ghana Bhatt. In this movie, I play the character of Parikshita, aka Paru, and I play Ratnesh's wife. So about her character, she's a little serious. She knows what she wants in life, and she comes from a small town, so she wants her life sorted. And that's what she's looking for, which brings a little bit of twists and turns in the movie along with Ratnesh. It was super duper fun filming this entire thing because we have like a lot of action going on, and which I've never done before. So that's that. And apart from the movie, I've been doing modeling, and I've been in the acting field for about 5 to 6 years now. And modeling, I've started from about 2011. So I'm in this industry for like 10 to 12 years now. Yeah, 10 years now.
Out of all of you, I believe you had the longest role in this film. How long was the shoot for you?
I think in calendar year it was really long. Maybe I think we did the shoot for almost 6 months, I would say, overall. But not every weekend. Mostly we shot during the weekends, but of course we included some weekdays as well, depending on.
But shoot days were what, 15, 20 of them?
Maybe 20 to 25, I would say. Oh, wow. Overall.
Over 6 months.
Over 6 months, yeah.
What about you, Ghana?
Again, the calendar days, it's about the same thing. In fact, we had to do dubbing and everything. So that was almost about a year if you look at it. But then, apart from that, the number of days that we worked should be 7 to 10 days. I don't really recall, but it should be in that range.
And each of us probably 2-3 days.
Yeah, 2-3 days.
4-5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was there for 3 hours 2 times. That's why I get this role. No, the reason I asked both of you is then how do you keep the continuity and the character intact? I'm sure then being a movie you shot out of sequence. Maybe the climax was shot before the opening scene. So can you talk about that? How your
Right. So it was a little challenging, obviously, especially the continuity part. You know, sometimes basic things, right? That maybe the last time, was I wearing watch, and small things, right? Sometimes that's what I remember. Even we try to point out, right? Nitpicking that, okay, when we see in the real, the mainstream movies that, okay, this was the mistake, this was the mess up. So yeah, we tried to make sure that we are maintaining that continuity.
But would you see the old footage to remember what emotion you were in? Or?
No. So, but yeah, one very interesting thing is the scar. That I during one of the fight scenes I had the scar. And now we were contemplating the next time where was the scar.
And this being an independent film, there is no access to that. So you guess.
Right, and then we did not have access to the previous the footage that that was captured. So now we were doing some guesswork that, okay, Pawan was saying, hey, it was here, I was saying it was here. Then overall we guessed where it was. So if you guys see that scar is moving here and there, you can think that it's kind of maybe maybe it got fixed during those 10-15 minutes itself.
And this is a Hindi film, right?
It's Hindi and English mostly, yes.
So English for you?
Yeah.
Hindi for you?
Mostly.
Hindi.
But of course we have subtitles, sorry, in the movie, so it's
So whose language outside of you is not natively Hindi? You or you? So how did you prepare Hindi wise?
Ratnesh was the one who was helping me out. Obviously, being South Indian, my accent wasn't coming out right. Ratnesh would stop me and, he would be like, no, this is not it. This is how you say it. So, we would rehearse it like multiple times. And when he gives a go ahead, that's when we would go ahead with the shot. He was helpful. Like.
So to add to it, I was so shameless that, I used to kind of stop her probably in front of everybody. And, when as an actor, it becomes a little, difficult for an actor when somebody kinds of stop you or, So, it took me some time to
be rude.
probably
Be okay with being rude.
to be okay not to be rude. And then, she kind of gave me the hint that, hey, please, if you have to tell me something, can you please do it backstage, not in front of everybody.
You text me about
So
What about you?
Yeah, so I grew up speaking Telugu and Tamil, in English obviously, but at home Telugu and Tamil mainly. But I grew up on a steady diet of Bollywood movies, and since my parents are Telugu and Tamil, the common language at home is usually Hindi between them, and for my dad doesn't know Telugu, but so he'll speak in Hindi with my grandma. So I just grew up listening to it at home a lot, and my dad speaks Hindi really well, so I just kind of picked it up listening to it and watching Bollywood movies. But this was definitely the first time that I've acted in Hindi, and a lot of Monica's lines are in Hindi and English, but there was quite a bit of Hindi in there, so it was definitely a good experience for me to put my Hindi into action and to the test. So it was great, and Ritwik and Ratnesh definitely helped as well, so it was nice.
especially the chemistry, I felt that the chemistry came really good. We were looking like friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, we had some really long days on set together, so I think that definitely helped us bond. Yeah, I know Ritwik and I had a crazy day in Santa Cruz on a beach, and it was a bright sunny day, but it was freezing in Santa Cruz as usual, and the winds were crazy, and we still I think we'll never forget that day because we had sand everywhere, and we had to act with basically in a sandstorm for 3 hours, and I was wearing this red party dress, and I just had sand, all over. So it was a struggle, but it was really fun to experience that, and definitely bonded us all.
Did you have any tough situation during shoot? What was your tough part, or it was a breeze?
It was all smooth.
He is the tough guy anyway.
I know, that's true.
Throughout the movie, he's in himself. So.
It was definitely really fun for me because I never shot something like action-packed like this, especially with all the stunt stuff, and you know what I mean. So there was no tough part for me. Everything was very smooth. The dialect was smooth. I would say some chinks. I felt like my character Ruby wouldn't say it that way, so I would just have a conversation with the director there, and then we'll kind of work it out. But everything was pretty smooth.
Yeah, like I've seen and been part of several independent films in the Bay Area, so I can only talk about those. It feels like this is the most ambitious project which Pawan, he's super brave and ambitious to embark on this journey, because you're talking about stunts.
Absolutely, I second that. When I read the script for the first time, and then I was actually thinking whether this is something which is executable or not, right? So yeah, how to pull it off, the kind of scenes that he had, mentioned in those, and then he was narrating as well. I mean, it definitely needs a lot of courage to even think that way, and especially with the limited resources that we have. So
when he called me, he's like, "Oh, there will be special effects," and I thought it will be movies throwing banana which will rotate, kill somebody. But it has come out amazing. Have you guys seen the film? You've seen the trailer at least?
Seen the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it blew me away. It's crazy. I couldn't have thought, in a million years. Yeah.
Coming to you, I want to switch gears and talk about a theater actor on a film. Have you done films before?
No, it was my first experience,
yeah?
and you would see that.
No, I'm sure Pawan took care of it.
Yeah. So
You can do wonders in edit.
Yeah, acting for camera is a different art and skill. That's what I realized when I did it, and when I saw the clips, when I saw the footage. I realized how subtle you have to be. For theater, you have to project in terms of everything, expression, voice. Here, you have to just be that character as real as possible, and that was definitely a great learning experience. So yeah, it was definitely a transition from theater to camera.
Did it happen with you, like after watching your clips or after doing the shoot, you go home and then you see House of Cards?
I remember just watching Radnesh.
He's moving his eyes just this much. And I was doing
yeah. No, I was watching Radnesh. He was so mellow in his mannerism and his acting, and I was like, is it good? Is it good enough?
Can anyone hear it?
Yeah. How would it come? Now when I see in the trailer, it's so natural, and I feel like but it goes with my character. Yeah. But it kind of, my character is a little loud, so I guess it goes with the character. But definitely, I learned a lot watching Hiranmay, Ghana's. I didn't see Ghana shooting because we don't have many scenes together. But the clipping, the trailer, I could see all of them are really natural.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone else has to add to the experience? Maybe you guys said you did short film, but then you did feature. What was different?
I think for me, Monica is very different from who I am. Monica is just this crazy out there character, and she's smoking, she's got pink hair, she's doing drugs, things that are just not
Sounds
me.
like the life you would like to live.
I know, right? Exactly. So obviously somewhere there's a part of me that came out. So it was really fun playing her character, and I got to drive a car and smoke, and it was really fun for me to step outside my comfort zone. And for this, I think the props really made a difference. Once I got that pink hair and got into the dress, I was like, okay, I'm Monica now. So it was really nice, and to Pawan's credit, he was really good with letting us, play with the lines, kind of like what Sean was saying. If I felt something was unnatural, or not unnatural, but just if I had an idea about to do it a different way, Pawan was really open to having us play with the characters and really get into character that way. So that was awesome. But yeah, definitely a good learning experience too. And Ritwik, I was so much fun acting with him because I loved how much he got into the character, and that definitely helped me get into my character more, because we were the two friends that were kind of the bad influences. So I loved playing that with him, and yeah, so it was a great experience.
And honestly speaking, I don't think the way he was explaining about how he is, I mean, when I saw the clippings, I think I really found very all the acting was really natural.
He's
being very modest.
He's being just modest, honestly speaking.
How about you, Ghana? You have any tales to tell? Any experiences working on this feature-length film?
I think a lot. Every single scene was a different kind of experience. We had a scene in laundromat and we had on the road. One more was, in the windy roads. It was really fun. But apart from that, the most fun thing was, when I had to deal with the guns. We had scenes when, it was a lot of action scenes, and that was the first time I ever held a gun, and that was like really scary for me. I don't know, but it was really fun. And apart from that, there was this rain sequence, and it was in the night. It was super cold, and we could just get one shot, because if it's ruined, it's ruined. You cannot go back to dry your hair, and you can restart the scene. So I think that was we took pictures and we did all of that. We did multiple takes, and then we finally went for the rain shot. It was really, really cold. But I hope it has come out well. But in general, I think every single scene in this movie was an experience in itself. Be it the action sequence, and there are so many sequences with, where there's glass breakage and there's guns, there are weapons, and so many things which I haven't seen anyone do in the Bay Area ever before. So actually, Pavan was showing me. Sorry, what's that?
No, when you look at the trailer, you can't believe that this is an indie film.
Exactly. And even when Pavan was planning the shots, he would show, the action sequence. This is how it is planned. He would have a drawing of the storyboard saying that this is how the action sequence is planned. So the entire way this was planned, the entire way it was executed, I was actually really scared when I heard this concept. I was like, we're doing this for the first time in the Bay, just as you said, is it going to come like a typical movie? But no, it looks really pro, and the trailer looks amazing. I cannot wait for others to see it, and it's come out really beautiful.
Yeah.
And by the way, talking about Pavan, the biggest goon of the movie
Oh my god.
Because he's so...
That's so true.
He kills by...
Right, yeah, he looks like that, but he kills by his eyes, I face that all the time. So, and of course, it's not one way, probably, without even becoming a star, if you come late, then that's what you will face, right?
Oh, you started giving attitude to him? Indie film?
अगर दो बच्चों के बाप हो, तो you cannot guarantee that you will be on set on time all the time. So that's another thing, obviously. So.
I want to switch gear, maybe quick answers from everybody. Why acting?
Why acting? Man, I don't know. It was just, like I said, I got in Skyline, I did the theater for a minute, and
Why did you do theater? What was that?
It was just a gut feeling. I just went into it. It's hard to explain. And then after a while, I got into it. I did it.
The
and
girl
it was
you liked was doing theater.
No.
What was the inspiration? What was her name? Tell us on the camera.
I'd say I do have a couple actors that inspired me into that role. I would say Tom Cavanaugh and Will Smith.
Okay.
I looked at them on screen. I'm like, that's amazing stuff. I want to do that. And then, I roamed around, and it was like a gut feeling like, hey, do theater. And it was, go in. And then I just build up from there.
What about you?
Being somebody else. I've always loved being somebody else. Right from school, imitating teachers, to mimicking Bollywood actors, to everything. So yeah, so I love getting into skin of somebody else and living a different life.
Speaking of which, the drugs and the smoking and the purple hair and badass.
I just love a good story, and kind of what Ritwik was saying too. Yeah, being somebody else, but I love a good story, and to be able to bring something like that to life, somebody's idea to life, is I think why I love acting.
So I think I have a very superficial answer, but that's the true answer. Just I like, everybody wants to be seen, right? Get appreciated and be popular. Today only, when I was taking Raghav from school back to home, he was saying, Papa, I'm very strong, I can kill 10 bad people and this and that, So this is something, maybe you cannot do in real life, but since childhood, when you see Hindi film hero, and Definitely, you want to be that. You want to be, and of course, you see in social media everywhere, actors are so popular. So I think
Mr. Popular. He's look at him closely. If you can zoom in, the Ritwik Roshan of Bay Area.
So by the way, so I was in engineering college when Kaho Na Pyar Hai came, right? So I was Chitik Kausan.
Chitik Caution.
Yeah, that's what like my friends used to call me at that time.
Let's go to India. Ghana.
I don't know what's not to like about acting. The entire process, you change yourself. The minute you're in front of the camera, you become a totally different person. You have to live someone else's life. The way their body mannerism would be, their thought process, how would they deliver the lines, and how would they show their entire life? It's a totally different person. You get to live so many lives in front of camera, and it's like the minute they say cut, you're back to your normal life. And I think that switch gives me that rush. So I think acting has always been on my mind just for this. It gives you a different kind of adventure. When people like bungee jumping and everything, this is a different kind of rush when you perform. And when you see the results, it's a whole another kind of rush. So I think that rush is what makes me choose acting.
So I'll echo as a fellow actor all of the things, all the combination of everything you guys said, plus I guess additional comment, just because I have to make additional comment, is just this dual life I also like being an engineer or a marketeer, professional, do something from 8 to 5, 8 to 7, whatever, and then look forward to this interview, for example, or this shoot, and it completely, I feel like I'm going to the gym, right? So you get completely a new, different experience, which most of the people at work won't have this Monday morning to talk about. Saying, oh, what did you do? Oh, I was shooting a movie. Oh, tell me more. Everyone else was watching a baseball game or something.
No, totally agree with what you said. The dual life is another kind of rush. It's a nice feeling. It's you do something for a living and you do something for your passion as well. So it's soul filling.
I think I'll add one more thing to basically the fantasy that you can play on screen, right? Being a husband, when you'll see the movie, I got the privilege to fight with my wife.
Oh, which you don't get in real life.
It's not, it's always one way, right? Yeah, that's the fantasy, right? So
The drugs.
I got hit by a girl and I was bleeding. Okay, maybe that's a spoiler that should be cut out from.
So yeah.
You were allowed to be a man.
Oh, of course, yeah. It was like, okay, that you don't get to, play or whatever do in the real life. So.
Yeah.
Also, I can. Oh, go ahead. No, mine was totally different. Go ahead.
I can add to what he's saying. It's like just exploring a different part of yourself, because every character you play, you take a part with them and you kind of travel with that in real life. Hopefully it's a good part.
No, hopefully.
But yeah, it's a good
gonna
experience.
You were gonna say
Oh,
something?
I just had an on-set anecdote. We were shooting that train scene, and there was somebody that was being disruptive at this train station. And Rajiv did such an amazing job playing his role that guy was like actually like.
I forgot.
This is my first time meeting you, and like my parents and I still talk about this because we were like, remember that guy? There was this guy like being really disruptive on the train tracks, and we were trying to shoot, he was trying to talk to us and like whatnot. And we were just kind of like, okay, like keep doing our thing. But Rajiv comes on and he acts like 10 times crazier than the actual guy on the platform. Then he gets scared and like he's like, I'm backing out. And like, he leaves. It was just blew my mind.
Man.
He, like, really committed
I
to
totally
that
forgot
role.
about this.
Yeah, see what scared that guy away, and you'll know what we're talking about. But that was just such a fun scene because we were out in public. It was like broad daylight, but you really committed to your role that day.
He
And,
came
like,
without blings.
yeah, he had
gold
like
chain.
bling and like a turban.
No, but
and
that's the thing about the film or outdoor thing. That was all prepared. That
Yeah.
was all planned.
Exactly.
What's the costume? What's the thing? And I was supposed to play a crazy man, and there was a crazy guy already.
like actually
And I'm
there.
like, okay, there is your man. My rehearsal teacher was already there. I'm like just copying him.
Yeah, that was amazing to see that. And sometimes
Any final thoughts?
come watch the movie. Please support.
absolutely.
It's great. I
Come
think
watch
you'll
the
love
movie.
it.
Yeah.
And encourage us, basically, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Indie filmmakers, independent actors, we all need your support. It's a fantastic movie.
There's a lot of effort gone
Not
into
just
it.
marketing, but for real. After being part of several projects, this is amazing. Awesome. And Bye, Bangalore.
Bye, Ghana.
Bye, Anna.